Okay. Welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday. We've got a special Taco Supremo guest with us today, Alan.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there?
Welcome.
Why do you sound all mature now? Shit. What the fuck is that about?
I got to put my face on.
He's like, shit, everyone's watching. Let's see. So Alan, why don't you introduce yourself as a Supremo guest?
Yeah.
You're in Charleston, just happen to be here for a little bit.
Yeah, so I've been in the Charleston area. It's kind of fun. I've actually lived literally a mile away from these great people, and I didn't even know it.
There you go.
Now, but now that I do know them, it's great. And I found them online, and I encourage everybody to invite your friends over to hear what the great stuff they have to say. I know it encouraged me to reach out to John, and he's been great. Tells great stuff, make me laugh. Our lives are full of crap.
Yeah.
We need laughs.
So we need murder is basically.
Yeah. Well, murder's not funny, but the way some of these assholes murder is funny.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I like it. Alex wants to know, is the iPad charged tonight?
Yes, it's charged.
There we go. We were having some charging issues. We ended up just taking more shots while we
Jen
waited.
got a sex change.
Ooh.
She's talking about you.
Oh.
She said, who's that? Jen got a sex change.
I'll give you my guy. He does great work.
What's up, everybody? We're here with Alan, Allen, and
Yeah, thanks for spelling that right, the right way.
yeah, he has a better haircut than me. I don't know if he wants to reveal it.
Yeah, everybody want to see what an $80 mullet looks like?
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
There you go. All right.
I like it, dude.
Damn it.
Hey.
He's going to do it now.
Dude,
Man.
We're getting older. We that's like almost a flex at our age. Like your hairline and you have your hair.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
That's true.
you don't
Flaunt
wanna-
it if you got it.
You don't want to be 50 and like, damn, I wish I would have had a mohawk back in the day.
And we're still kind of waiting on people. Are we taking a shot? Y'all want to take a shot?
Sure.
Are you...
Natasha, thanks for the
okay.
comment.
We're not going to sing the song because Jen's not here. She will murder us if we do that without her, but we'll still do a shot together. Hang on.
You're
Gonna need a shot from hearing this story.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
So you're not from Arkansas, though.
No, but I remember I was in Mississippi. I was only a stone throw away from the Mississippi River across to Arkansas. So
How many people have done this case? I've heard his name.
I don't know. I think it's more prevalent in Arkansas, kind of per se, what happened. But I guess because everything happened so fast in one day, it just kind of hit the news.
Yeah.
And it was done because that's basically what happened. So,
fuck yeah.
So I think when everybody hears the story, you're going to be shocked. I think it's depending on how John does the story. When people hear this, there's so much to this story.
I know, dude. I was like, all right, sweet, I'll just do one episode. And then I started researching. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm already still in the Eileen Warnos. I still got one episode of that. So I'm like the only podcaster that is I now owe people multiple parts of different stories.
I hear a lot of that. Like, I think I listened to one the other day. It was like the brothers, like the three brothers that went on like a killing spree. And you're like, if anybody wants to hear more of this, it was like the
Briley brothers.
The Briley brothers, yeah.
Nope,
I was waiting for that episode too.
Oh, you like that one?
I liked it. You were like, reach out, but I mean, you put the episode out in like 1999 when Limp Bizkit was staging Woodstock. Didn't know if you remember.
Let's say hi to Alice. Ashley's daughter is here. Hi, Alice.
Hey, Alice.
She's 5. Do we have to watch what we say?
Yeah.
We'll have to tone down
Alice,
the curse
I have
words. Or Ashley, do you cuss enough in front of her where this is okay? Just let us know.
Well, it's cheers, guys.
There you go. Cheers.
All right.
What are we drinking here?
You'll find out.
Ooh.
Oh, that was great, man.
The first hand I get is Robitussin.
That's Wild Turkey.
No, is it?
Are you kidding me? No.
That's not.
It was Disaronno.
Oh, Deserono.
Oh, I thought that was like a liqueur. I thought that was.
Disaronno.
I bought my.
That's Deserono? That
Yeah.
shit's great.
I know.
You like that sweet stuff?
Yeah, Wild
Tastes like
Turkey's
pistachio.
Wild Turkey's pretty sweet too. Have you ever had
I
it?
do not think.
Have I ever had it?
Yeah, Wild Turkey.
Does the Pope wear a funny hat?
All right, welcome everyone to Talk Murder Me. We're here with Alan, our Taco Supremo, great friend who's living in Charleston for a little bit. And he requested a great story.
And if you guys are wondering where Jen is, she is up in Massachusetts. She might join us on the live chat today. I know she won't be able to call in, but she might still be able to show up here on the live chat at some point today. So
yeah.
And she will also not be here next weekend, if you are also wondering. So she will be at a wedding again up in Massachusetts.
She just got back from a wedding, didn't she?
No,
Jesus
she was
Christ.
at the bachelorette party for this wedding. So
Oh, Lord. Wait, is this the story where she went to Massachusetts for a bachelorette party?
she went to Martha's Vineyard, and she was.
Whoa, what is that?
It's an island off the coast of Massachusetts. You know Martha's Vineyard?
Even though there's no freaking vineyard there.
There's no,
My aunt and uncle live in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, but they don't actually do wine.
Oh, no, they don't. They don't do wine. I mean, they drink a lot of wine, but you know.
Hey, also, guys, so for some of the next episodes coming up, we got a new system here. So we are going to be accepting live callers to come on
Ooh,
here.
I like that.
Yeah, live FaceTime. All you got to do is FaceTime and you'll be on the live video. Do we got any Supremos or should we?
Oh, we do have some new Supremos.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ashley, who is on here, and Amanda are our newest members this week. So thanks, y'all, for joining. Thank you, Ashley. And Alice, 2 for 1.
Sweet. So tonight we have a lovely, lovely story. This is child appropriate, I would say, right?
I mean, it has children in it.
Oh, shit. That's fucked. That's fucked. That is terrible.
It's a terrible story. I actually listened to it again on the way over to like.
You listened to it? We haven't done it yet.
Well, no, I mean, I read up on it, just to prepare myself for what I'm about to hear. So
it's not that bad.
Oh, you
all right. So, welcome everyone. We're on live chat right now. We live chat every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to Google Earth. And yes, my iPad is charged.
Alex.
Fucking dickhead.
What is this?
Don't be mean to Alex. Oh, Alex, your stuff is on the way, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice.
Your goodies.
Your goodies.
Nice.
What the fuck is not even coming up on here?
That's Arkansas, and most of them are county roads.
Well, I actually call it Arkansas.
I do too.
Arkansas.
That's when you know you're Southern. Actually, when you pronounce Mississippi, you don't pronounce the other set of S's. That's how you know somebody's from there. They say,
Mississippi?
I'm from Mississippi.
Oh.
Yeah. So
All
if anybody ever comes over and says I'm from Mississippi, say get out of the house because you're a liar.
lying.
Wait, where are you from again?
Greenville,
You're from Greenville, South Carolina?
Mississippi.
Oh, you're from Mississippi.
I remember we talked about it.
I don't know. You said you went all over the place.
Now you know.
I grew up in Mississippi. It looks just like that what you're showing on the map. A trailer and trees
So,
with no gravel.
all right, this is the spot right here.
So that's good to know. I never knew that. So
I don't know exactly which one it is because
Which trailer it is? you mean?
the trailer's torn down, but
I'm sure it is.
I think it maybe it's this one. I don't know. But when I tried to go see the road view, as you see, you can't. Like the closest you can get is right here.
I mean, that's it. I mean, like I said, everybody if you drive through Arkansas, there's a couple of things I want to tell you. Like, don't speed because they make most of their money off speed traps. And they're very sketchy because last time I was there and I got a speeding ticket, they told me to fax a letter in. And keep in mind, this was like 5 years ago. They told me to fax an apology letter in.
What?
And
It
send
is-
$200 and they'll dismiss it.
And wire it to this dude.
Send a
right
check
here.
and a fax.
That's sketchy.
That's for everybody on the chat. Just
That's
so you
basically like one step away from, hey, give me $200. I'll
Like
let
the
you
cop
go.
I'll
pulling
just
you
make
over.
this go away.
So this is where we're going tonight. I mean, it's rural nothing, man.
I mean, when did this story take place, John? I forgot because this is current, correct?
This is current?
No, I'm
but
asking.
like that Google,
yeah.
Google is.
This is current, yeah. The story,
I mean, when did the story take place?
1987.
Yeah, it definitely looks different. I promise.
December 22nd, 1987 is where we're actually going. This is what it looked like, the exact spot. And the news, The news broadcast that I pulled this from, I should have put the video in here because the first shot of the trailer, and they did this on purpose. They put that little chicken running across. Eek, or was it there? Cluck? Or what? How's the fucking chicken say?
Wait, what's the chicken say?
I said eek. Peacock. Peacock. So,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it a second time.
they made it real rednecky looking with that fucking chicken.
That actually looks pretty prestigious for Arkansas. For 87 version.
That's a mansion right there.
So we're going to 250 Broomfield Road. This is in Dover. The story also takes place in Russellville too, but that's going to be on the next episode. Tonight we're talking about Ronald Gene Simmons. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. I don't know how many other podcasters have done this.
I don't either.
I don't.
It's a strange. When I first heard about it, it was so fascinating. I think it's because, like what we talked about, is that it happened so rapidly that it just became like a day news kind of thing. And you may have heard about it like after the trial, like when people are killing for 10, 15 years and escaping from prison and finding 37 bodies under whenever you just decide to just do whatever one day or a couple days out of a time, it kind of just hit and miss kind of thing. It's like, oh, well, this is Arkansas.
If you want to describe him, Nicole, the only thing he's missing here is a sick ass mullet.
Dude, he may not have got convicted.
He's balding at the top there. He's got a little bit of a friar situation going on. But, he's got a pretty burly white beard.
Do you think he regrets not growing a mullet in the 30s?
That looks to me like a man full of regret.
I think he kind of has one. Look at the back there.
It's a little
He's
long
holding
in the
on
back.
to a lot.
Yeah.
He's holding on to everything he's got.
That's why he's growing the beard. It's to overcompensate.
The beard's all he's got.
And he's smiling too. He looks happy. Jolly old
He
fella.
does look. He looks like he could play your
Santa Claus?
He could play your local Santa Claus. So be careful out there, people.
Yeah, he does.
It's December 22nd, almost Christmas Day. Ronald Gene Simmons and his family, they are all at each other's throats because, as you'll see, at this point, this man has got fired from all of his jobs. He is doing nothing now but sitting in his trailer in his room, drinking beer all day long. His wife, which we're going to get to, at this time had already moved into their kids' room with a cot. She is sleeping in the kids' room on a cot now. Okay, so this is a bad situation, a bad family situation. She is stuck. I mean, you saw where we're at. Like, where the fuck's she gonna go?
Right.
And she's got a lot of kids, so she ain't gonna go very far. She is stuck in a very bad situation. She's sleeping on a cot, and her husband is just a stay-at-home drunk. When we go over this guy's background, you're gonna see some personality traits. He's very military-minded. So to quit a job and stay at home and drink all day, if you know this fella, you would know that he has completely given up on everything.
Was he a veteran?
Yeah, he's a Vietnam veteran with a Vietnam Distinguished Cross.
Wow.
We'll get to that.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, so he's done.
He's
like in
given
his
up.
mind, he is given up, right? Completely done. You're not even.
I mean, you crossed over. You're not coming back. You're done.
Oh yeah, with no job and no hobbies, and his family hates him. He is now just sitting in his room until the last of his money runs out. And this is the family's money, and they don't have a lot of it. The wife, Rebecca, which her name is Becky is what she goes by. This is her right here.
I think she's pretty gorgeous. What age is she here?
46, I think.
46?
Yeah.
She looks good for 46.
Yeah, is she Spanish?
No, I don't think so.
Or Indian maybe, or just like.
She's got great dark hair.
Yeah, nice hairline,
Great
nice cheekbones.
complexion.
Look at the teeth. That's always been a thing for me.
She's very happy there.
Very. Who's hugging her?
Well, who do you think? And that guy's got a smile too. So that's
Really?
that's her
Happier
husband.
times.
Yeah,
That's how it starts, right?
Yeah. I don't know. We just hit 2 years.
We're only in 2, yeah. We're
don't
still
know.
fairly happy. If you ask John, though, how marriage is going, he'd be like, it's all right.
It's all right. I
It's
mean,
not like dating.
dude, in my family we don't believe in divorce. So, and my family, I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before, but it's very important. My dad always used to tell me, son, you need to just find a woman that you can put up with for the rest of your life. And that makes so much sense. You don't marry for love.
Nope.
You don't marry you just marry someone that you could just put up with.
You know, my grandfather told me the same thing. He said, all women are crazy. Just find one you can put up with.
That is true. He's a smart man.
He also told me never trust a man that tucks his shirt in with no belt. So remember that.
That is good life advice right there.
So that's for everybody out there. Just remember that. Never trust a guy, all you girls out there, that tucks his shirt in with no belt. You run far away.
Automatic serial killer.
My grandpa used to tell me stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the things he would always tell me is, Little John, you better stop touching your cousin like that.
That's all. That's your first cousin. You can only touch your second cousin. Go touch little Judy over there. Leave Christina alone.
I'm so proud.
Becky Simmons, 46 years old. Her family has completely fallen apart at this point because and only because of her alcoholic husband and the decisions that he made, which we're going to get into in detail.
Horrible.
She wanted one thing, because she's about to get divorced. Now, she's left multiple times, but when you're in that relationship, I mean, think about it. She's in an abusive relationship, which we'll talk about. She has a lot of kids, which we'll talk about. And she's in fucking Arkansas.
Oh, Lord.
She can't leave, or she tries to leave multiple times, but it never works. But now she actually is leaving. And with the kids' support, too. She's going to go, what?
Sorry.
I'm Mama Cooley.
Mama. Oh, my God.
Sorry, guys. I noticed my wife pop up.
Your wife is checking in on you, man.
She's like, is he really at this podcast?
Yeah. Podcast, my fucking ass.
Yeah, my ass.
Let me know when she gets off, and then we can start the
Did we bring the mariachis in and the stripper pole?
Yeah, this is the VIP room. Oh shit.
That's too funny.
Mama cool.
That's funny. I don't know how she got on there. I gotta figure that out.
You told her you're doing a podcast?
Yeah, of course I will. I'm truthful with my wife.
No, I know, but
I talk a lot about y'all.
This is on YouTube, so you told her it's gonna be on YouTube.
I don't know. I don't know how she found it. Honestly,
She'll need to. You.
Elena, can you respond, please, and tell me how you found me?
She's like, I'm just here checking.
Sorry to interrupt her podcast for my wife. So
no, that's great.
Oh shit. Becky's done, and she knows. Actually, if you want to read the one of the final letters.
Before you do that, can I ask you this? Does Becky have any other? I never knew this. Does she have any other family she's ever reached out to, like, for help? Because it seems like a dire situation. I mean, surely she seems like a nice lady that her family has not abandoned her. That's kind of what made me point toward the fact that, is she an immigrant? Is she like what's her status? Because you don't just stay.
Well,
you do, but you don't. But like your other family members notice it.
People might be able to tell that something's wrong, but if you are so deep into a relationship, I think depending on how bad the situation is, like if there's kids involved, like what else are you gonna do? Like, honestly,
I didn't see anything about her paternal background. Right. Her last name, her maiden name, I guess. Maiden name, is that what you call it?
Kirsten, does it end in a vowel?
Well, what's the vowels again?
What was her last name? just say it and we'll tell you.
Well, again, it's hard to say. Ulibarri. Ulibarri. Ulibarri.
Yeah, that's either Spanish
or Italian.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Like I saw that. I see Spanish. She reminds me a lot of my wife, where like the hairline, the beautiful smile.
Well, she was up in Washington.
You're like, she's on. I gotta compliment her.
I know who she
is. This is how we know that she was this time leaving. Quote, I am a prisoner here, and the kids too. I know when I get out, I might need help. Dad has held me like a prisoner, and the new freedom might be hard for me to take. Yet I know it would be great. Having my children visit me anytime, having a telephone, going shopping if I want, going to church. Every time I think of freedom, I want out as soon as possible. That was from the final letter that was found at the house that she was writing to one of her sons. The sons were going to take her in. One of the sons was going to take her in.
Okay.
Because at this point, the family has stopped talking to the dad at all cost.
Okay.
Most of them, as we'll get to. But she's leaving, but she wanted one final thing, and that is a family Christmas together. You see the lights here?
Yeah.
Is that the house at Christmas time?
Yeah, this is the house.
So I wonder who I guess she put that up. Becky did.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind, which we'll talk about, there's no income coming in. This is the last bit of money.
Yeah.
She wanted a tree. They don't really have money for trees, stuff like that. So this is basically the depleting the savings. But she wanted that
Of course.
Christmas where the whole family comes in and just that one last one. But the father has a different plan that he's putting in place for this Christmas when the family comes. And that's the story we're talking about tonight.
Oh, we're going to get there?
Oh, we're going to get there, apparently.
Are we there yet?
So this is December 22nd, and like I just said, the whole family's coming in. Now, the family staggers their times, so they're going to come in. We're only doing the first day here. This is the 22nd of December.
Okay.
The other family is going to come in throughout the next week, or throughout this week, up until Christmas. They're going to be here. But the first person that comes in the house is his son. And you know his son's name?
Is it Gene Jr.?
Yeah, Gene Jr.
I mean, you think about it, Gene. I mean, that's like for all you mothers and daughters out there, to name a junior or whatever, or a third, like, I'm not sure how relationships work out there, but usually that's a combination between you and the husband to pick that, right? I mean,
I would imagine.
yeah.
I would think any naming of children.
I just want to put that out there before you finish this story.
All right, first in the house, Ronald Gene Simmons Jr. Little Gene is what everyone called him, Little Gene. He comes in the house and he immediately feels some sort of tension, as he knew he would. However, you're going to see that his daughter, Barbara, a 3-year-old, was actually currently at the time staying with the grandparents. So he walks in to check on her, Barbara, little Barbara, 3 years old. And at this point, he is in that room, her separate bedroom, checking on her. Now, she is sound asleep.
Wait, I thought you said she was at her grandparents.
Well, no. Yeah, you're right. Ronald Gene Simmons is her grandpa. No, you're talking about somebody else.
Okay, sorry.
We'll get to that. We're talking. The family tree is large.
Yeah, sorry, John.
No, you're good.
Is it a large tree, but like there's not a lot of branches
There's
on
not a
it?
lot. Yeah, this tree goes straight up to heaven.
Straight up and down. Got
Yeah,
it.
so
okay.
The family tree is kind of hard to comprehend. But there's some
It's a tumbleweed. We talked about this recently.
the tree gets twisted at some point. It's just
What was the saying that Will Smith's wife said? I was in an entanglement.
entanglement. The father, the killer, who we're talking about tonight, from now on, I'll call him Ronald. His son, Ronald Jr., I'll call him Little Gene.
Or JR.
Yeah, or JR, yeah. He gets in the house. He immediately feels some tension, but he goes straight to his daughter's room to check on her, which is Ronald's granddaughter. Okay. She's sound asleep, so Little Gene is 29 years old. It's not.
Okay.
Wait, say that again?
Little Gene is 29.
God damn it. They still called him. All right, this is very confusing.
Wait, I didn't know that. Wait, say that again? Little Gene's 29?
Ronald, the father, his first son and first child is Gene.
Okay.
Is Ronald Gene Simmons Jr.
Okay.
But they call him Gene. But at this point in time, he's 29 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he walks in. He's got a baby of his own, a 3-year-old.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lot of
You really...
Simmons.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. Like, when I first heard the story, I thought he was a little boy.
29. I mean,
29 ain't little at all.
This is the Christmas whatever.
This is a Christmas story you never heard.
I mean,
I've
technically,
never heard this story at all.
technically at 36, I'm kind of a little boy too.
I'm not really sure what you're doing at home at 29, but okay. Yeah, that's
No,
good.
no, his daughter is staying at his father. This is confusing. I can't make this any simpler. His son, Junior, JR, 29 years old, he's checking on his daughter. She's sound asleep at 3 years old, and that daughter is staying with JR's father, Ronald, which is the killer we're talking about tonight. So JR backs out of the room and he sees his dad just standing there. Now his dad has been on his favorite chair all morning drinking beer, barely even looked at his own son when he came in. But this is kind of how things were. This was probably going to be the last time they ever saw the father.
Yeah.
They're there for the mother. The family's coming in for the mother. Nobody likes this guy.
Nobody likes the guy.
Nobody, his own family hates him.
Got it.
But they have a pretty good reason why. But this 3-year-old sound asleep, little Gene backs out of the room. Now, he didn't hear his father get up. He didn't hear his father get up out of his favorite chair. And he also didn't hear his father get up out of his favorite chair and grab the crowbar that he had strategically placed right by his feet. Now, before I go any further, you're going to hear the actual police captain who was at the scene. He says it's a lead pipe. However, the book that we're reading from says crowbar, so
that's what I heard as well.
I'm opting for the latter. But pipe, crowbar, whatever. You'll
something
hear
metal and
something metal.
deadly.
But he didn't hear any of that. He just turns around, shuts the door very quietly, not to wake his daughter up, turns around, and his dad's just standing there, just with a blank look, like kind of like a Vietnam vet, right? Just blank.
Wait, does he have the crowbar in his hand?
Yeah, he's got the crowbar in his hand.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
I wouldn't know what I would do if I walk in and you had a crowbar in your hand. I'm like,
I would have fucking uppercut, right? Shit.
I know, I would have just ran out. I'm not trying to get disturbant with you.
The last words that JR said to his father were, "Dad?"
It hit the boy right in the center of his forehead. Gene staggered, cross-eyed, as if he were trying to see where the crowbar had hit him. Ronald slammed it down again and again. The boy fell to his knees, against one of the chairs, mouth hanging open like some kind of moron, eyes out of focus. Ronald sneered at the boy's weakness as the runt gasped and drooled. He brought the crowbar down on Gene's face once more, popping his nose with a grisly splatter and knocking the boy out cold. Gene hefted the crowbar and gave the boy one last whack across the skull for good measure. Just to be sure, it jarred right up the length of his arm.
He just smacked his own son with a crowbar.
That's the first son, right?
Yeah, this is his firstborn.
Yeah.
29-year-old.
Like, would you say he was like a disappointment, right? Like like a weakling and
there's
didn't do
only
anything.
Yeah, there's only one child that he had that he liked, as we'll get to. The other ones he couldn't stand. At 47 years old, his dad is he's not the spring chicken that he used to be. And he was in the military and in shape. What I'm trying to say is hitting your son across the forehead multiple times as hard as you can with a crowbar takes it out of you. So at this point, he's panting and gasping, but his son's on the ground and he's not dead. He's still twitching around and, what's going on?
Like brain dead kind of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah. I mean, he got hit right in the forehead.
Right.
So the dad is trying to catch his breath, and this is probably another point of contention for the father, too, because now he realizes that, oh, fuck, I'm out of shape type of thing. And he's not the type of guy that wants to lose control like that. You know
I mean, from my understanding, the stories I've heard is like, it's not easy to kill. Like, it is a lot of energy that takes. Well, I guess it depends on what. I mean, if you're going to use manual energy to do it, I mean, manual energy, I think it does actually take a lot of. I mean, the human body is like meant to like you think of like cavemen and stuff like that. Like it's meant to take a lot of.
All right, his dad at this point is out of breath, panting over and over. He's 47 years old.
Ronald looked down at his son, leaking blood from his nose and ears onto the flea market rug that covered half the room, and gave him the first smile that the boy had earned since he was a day old.
Wow.
That tells you.
That's depressing.
That tells you a lot about this guy's personality in that one sentence.
Yeah.
So he never smiled. He's not a happy dude.
I mean, could you imagine being at your child's birthday and you never smiled?
This is his first child.
Yeah.
I would be the same way if I had a child. I'd be like, God damn it. How the fuck did this happen?
You're 29.
You actually wouldn't, but
No, I would just change my number. All right. So that quote should tell you a lot about his personality.
Yeah.
Another thing that should tell you a lot about his personality is even as the son is basically dead at this point, he starts stomping on his torso. His own son, his own flesh and blood stomping on the torso. Boom, boom, boom.
Now, why did he do this? Like, it's like a spinning at
Yeah.
them?
Kind of. I don't know. This guy's kind of
I think if it serves me right, is like he wanted to make sure he was dead. Like if he didn't flinch by doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. The noise had disturbed Becky from her spot in the kitchen. If Ronald had known that committing bloody murder in the room next door was all it took to get Becky moving, he would have started doing it years ago. It wasn't like they had a shortage of kids to beat to death.
That's pretty
Very
fucked
true.
up.
Yeah, I mean it's
So at this point, he hears the death rattle from his own son.
no, she does, right? Becky.
Yeah.
Becky. Yeah.
Well, the death rattle comes in from the own son,
Correct,
son.
correct.
The son, little Gene, JR, 29 years old, breathing blood. And keep in mind, his daughter, 3-year-old Barbara, is, I don't know, 5 feet in the next room with the door shut, sleeping.
Yeah.
Becky comes into the scene and she sees her son. She hears the death rattle, the blood being, spurtling up. And she gasps and she does what any mother would do. She bends down over the son to, I don't know, whatever.
Resuscitate, like
Or
try to
just,
do a mother's touch.
A
kind of
mother, a mother would just fall over the son. And I'm going to show you the mother one more time. So this is Becky. That's what she looks like. So she falls over the son, JR, and she's in shock. At this point, she doesn't really know what happened yet. She probably has a good fucking idea. But Ronald, the husband, picks up the crowbar. As she was leaning down over her son to care for her son, he lifts it up with all his might and brings it right down on the back of her shoulders. And he's going to do this a lot of times, probably 10, 15 times at least to get her completely quiet.
And that's part of the scene where I think that it actually was a crowbar because they talk about how all the stab wounds she had.
Yeah.
From it.
From the
They actually talk about the amount of stab wounds she had from the crowbar. Like as he went down, like flesh came up, kind of thing. It was not very appealing. It was not that's the first time I heard about a lead pipe.
Well, the captain said lead pipe, but then again, this is.
He may have multiple murder weapons in there, right?
And he's this guy, a police officer. He's processed thousands of these things, right?
He stopped his flurry of blows for a long moment to draw a breath. Then he flipped the crowbar over in his hand so that the jagged teeth were now raised up. He looked down at the expanse of her floral print dress like an artist looks at a canvas. Then he started painting red flowers of his own. He watched them blossom as the bitch wailed and wailed.
It's fucked up.
Oh my god!
Wait, who used the B word in this story?
So all right,
I think that this is like the author's. He's using
So this is a Ryan Green book. So
I don't think she was a B word. I think she was a nice mother, and she was
okay. Let me.
But I think maybe he's like,
that's his
the mind of the.
That's
author.
Ronald Gene's mind. I get it.
Yeah.
Bitch. Yeah, she wants to leave me.
I'm gonna get into this, but
he cranks out true crime books.
He cranks them out, but they're pretty good reads. But he does take some creative interpretations, I guess.
We need that.
But he is talking as I guess when he's writing, I don't know his style. Maybe I should interview him. Maybe I should get him on an interview.
like he gets into their mind.
Yeah.
Right?
So he is this whole thing, the whole book and how he's writing is in Ronald's head. What he's thinking, his thoughts. And when I found out I had borderline personality disorder, this is one of the things that is exacerbated in people with this disorder is you think everyone's thinking something else about you. And I know everyone does that, but it's such an extreme. And with a guy like Ronald Gene Simmons, like he thought the whole town was against him. Yeah, they may have thought he was a
they
weirdo,
may have been, though.
but they're not out to get
They don't
him.
have pitchforks.
They never
yeah.
trusted him. I guarantee that.
Yeah, but they don't think about him all day long like
Yeah,
he's
like the
thinking.
way he
He's
does.
like, I know they're thinking about me right now, and I know this bitch in the other room is yada yada yada. Like he is just trying to.
Yeah.
He's just thinking about this all day long.
Does he have borderline personality disorder?
I don't know. He's dead now. I don't think that was even a term.
Well, in
back then.
Arkansas, you don't test for that. Either you kill somebody or you didn't. It's kind of how that works.
His court case is extremely famous though because he didn't say a fucking word. And when you're on death row, and I'll get into this next episode, but the process is they account for appeals immediately being filed on death row. But when a death row prisoner gets on there and is like, fuck it, just kill me. You're like, you can't.
Something must be wrong.
Well, I mean, I feel
screws up the whole fucking system here.
It did, because he felt like he achieved his mission of dying.
Yeah.
He was done.
Yeah, he like wanted to die. So. Anyway, she fell face first on top of her dead son. He takes the crowbar, turns it around to the jagged teeth edge, and this is where you're talking about where the flesh is coming up. Obviously, if you think of a crowbar, bringing it down that hard, flesh will come up. She is on her back, but she's face down, so he is just attacking her back at this point.
I mean, and keep in mind, you're forcibly banging after you just banged your 29-year-old.
Yeah.
The bone and flesh, that is not easy to bang. It's how much anger do you really have built up inside of you to where you're able to do that?
It's like manic, I feel, and imagine the scene. He's probably covered in his own child and wife's blood.
It's just the amount of strength that I'm envisioning the amount of strength it takes to continue on.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll put all these videos on talkmurder.com, but some of the reports from the captain at the time said that he said the blood was splattered all over the walls because of the crowbar, stuff like that, because he actually shot both the mother and the son, as you're going to see. But that's not where the blood came from. It came from the constant going back and forth. And he's kept in his breath during this time. He's been drinking all day, number one.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
He's been drinking all fucking for the last 2 months, literally every day.
Pickled.
That's a good word.
He's pickled.
He's pickled.
Yeah, that's what that's a term for alcoholics. It is.
John, how pickled are you right now?
I don't know what the fuck. I never heard of that.
It's like your brain and your liver get
Let me get a little
pickled in
pickled real
alcohol
quick.
when you're an alcoholic. That is a thing.
Them are
say.
damn fighting words.
Let me guess, you got a case of the Mondays?
I always have a case of the Mondays.
Her human shrieks of turns to guttural grunts. So,
But I mean, how they know that without talking to actual
there's
him?
a prosecutor,
Oh, okay.
painting a scene.
Yeah.
Trying to paint. I've always wondered that, how, when they paint the scene of what happened, and I'm like, is this drama? Is this just a dramatic effect?
Yeah.
But I mean, you paint the scene for the story, and is that how you end up with different types of stories with lead pipes and crowbar? Just kind of.
Probably.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? True crime is entertainment.
It
It is.
Praise be to He.
All you motherfuckers on here right now watching us.
Righteous gemstones. Yeah.
Praise be to He.
Her saliva and breath was filled with her own blood. Then he takes out his .22 caliber pistol, shoots her right in the forehead.
Ooh.
He shoots his son in the forehead twice and once in the chest. Now,
That's weird that he would do that after everything he
He's
just did.
angry.
he's also a marksman, a perfect shot.
He's an eagle eye.
Yeah.
Not a Hawkeye.
What are you again?
Hawkeye.
No, I'm not a Hawkeye. Hawkeye is 40 out of 40. I'm 38 out of 40.
I thought
What does that make you?
I thought eagle eye is 40 out of 40 and Hawkeye is 38.
No, there's no such thing as an eagle eye.
No?
I thought there was.
I don't know.
Well, he
No,
would
what the
know.
fuck?
He would know.
Wait.
Yeah, I know. You would know.
I'm a sharpshooter. That's what my
Nice.
badge is.
I like how they bring it down like that for
Fuck,
you.
it's been goddamn forever.
You're like, let me go check my records. I thought we talked about this with Jenna.
I like how they say it's if you're 20 out of 40, you're a good shooter kind of thing.
Oh, dude.
I'd be a good shooter.
You wouldn't be
then.
over with me overseas if you only shoot 20 fucking out of 40. That's
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
50%. We're going to get into his background right now, but he shoots his son twice in the forehead, once in the chest. And then he hears something from the other room. What do you think that is?
The baby crying.
Now, he knew that she was there, but she didn't start crying until those gunshots went off. And those gunshots were the last thing. So she woke up with those gunshots. Remember, this is 3-year-old Barbara we're talking about.
This is the baby, right?
Yeah, this is the baby. His granddaughter in the next room, 5 feet away, starts to cry. And we'll go back to her, but well, let's talk about his background.
Let's do it.
This is the book we're reading tonight, Obeying Evil, the Mockingbird Hill Massacre Through the Eyes of a Killer.
Mockingbird Hill.
Yeah, so
I wonder where that came from.
it's a fancy name for a dump. I don't know. I
Very Arkansas.
yeah.
I mean, it sounds
We live in Lake
fancy.
Village. We have a lake, but everything is crappy around here.
This is it. I mean, this is Mockingbird Hill.
Nice.
So you go up the hill to see his trailer, but it's you saw it on the Google Earth. It's nothing but a fucking trailer with a hill, and nothing wrong
That's
with
it.
trailers,
and
man.
a chicken out front.
That's right.
This
Wait,
is
I know. I had to wait
is
until
that
I
just
wasn't
that
laughing.
chicken, or is there another chicken that makes it?
Maybe it could be one and the same. There could be a whole hen
Could there be
house.
chicks? Could there be swans?
so Mockingbird Hill is where he lived, and I looked up so much where that name came from, but I could not figure it out. He didn't name it that. It's always been named Mockingbird Hill. That's that little patch of land. I don't know why they called it that, but it sounds very luxurious.
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 I like. I'm gonna start using
Nice
that.
try,
Hey, can I
though.
use that? Luxurious.
I think people from Mississippi say that.
I don't know. Ones
Missing a syllable there.
ones that make it past 10th grade, we actually pronounce it right.
All right, I'm going to run through his background. Like I said, this right here is Ronald Gene Simmons, and he is what we call a family annihilator.
Annihilator.
What'd you say?
Annihilator.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
No!
right? What the fuck? What is it?
Annihilator.
Annihilator.
Nope.
You obviously never played Mortal Kombat.
Or Scrabble. Oh, yeah.
The Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Annihilation.
Fatality.
Wait, real quick. Wasn't there one called Bestiality, which was not very appropriate?
Bestiality is having sex with...
I know, but wasn't there one called Bestiality where they turn you into an animal on Mortal Kombat?
I don't think it was... Was it? I don't think it was called Bestiality.
I think it
was.
was. Which I now think about it, that's very inappropriate.
That would be very inappropriate if that's what that was. I mean, they're
I
probably
think you
like,
think about it, fatality.
Yeah.
Bestiality.
Ronald Gene Simmons, born Chicago, Illinois, 1940. Parents Loretta and William Simmons. Not much is known about them. Nothing at all, really. January 1943, he is 3 years old, and a big event happens. His father dies.
Oh, wow.
His father dies when he's 3 years old, and at the time, and this is, it may sound weird now, but in the 1940s, this was 1943, the mother remarried that same year, because back then, being a single mother with a child,
It's hard.
you can't really, I mean, there was like daycare, I don't think was a
Well,
thing.
it was kind of hard because
you know?
you're a mom with kids, and it's all about, showing your, what's the word you say? Luxury? Luxury.
I can't.
Luxury.
I don't even know what he said before.
And the last thing you want to do is to be a product of something like that. So, I mean, it depends on how old you were, but I mean, I can see it like in the 40s. It was harder for females to marry.
If women weren't really in the workforce, then I mean, a lot changed with World War II. Like you don't really have much of a choice. Like you are as a woman in the 40s, you are rearing children and taking care of your children.
No,
You're
I
not
think-
going out into the workforce and getting a job.
Actually,
you need a man
and-
to go do that.
Actually,
at
in
that point.
like in the early 40s, I think the women were called upon to work a lot.
Yeah.
And so they worked in the factories and things like that. So if they left you in the 40s, I think women may have been doing better than men at that point.
Oh, they were all overseas at that point in time.
You're just saying that shit.
I'm just saying, if I'm over in like
You're either in
Auschwitz, Germany, trying to
you're in
fight.
France, Germany, England, whatever, or you're
how much
over
money
in
am I
Midway.
making in Germany as a soldier as opposed to my wife at home making shells and tanks?
Well, there wasn't a choice. You had no choice.
In 1943, at 3 years old, his father died. His mother remarried. His stepfather, William, served in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and moved the family to Arkansas. Never mind.
Oh, I like the first way.
So at this time, he moves the family. He's in the military, and this is obviously where Ronald gets his discipline from. But he moves the family constantly. Ronald, now being, a kid, we're talking about the killer going back in time. Now he is moving school to school. He never has the same friends.
Yeah.
He never can make friends. He is troubled. He becomes a bully. He is permanently expelled at 16 years old.
Wow.
Expelled.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the story of the guy that you read to me about who retired from kindergarten.
Oh, Pansram.
Oh, God, yeah.
I dropped out of kindergarten.
Yeah.
Is there like a form you got to fill out for that? He's like signing it with crayons. I'm done with this shit.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So, and this is where Ronald Gene Simmons his story is a lot like mine. He is expelled and he is shipped off to military school where he thrived, which is the same with me.
Praise be to he.
He is disciplined from his stepfather. Obviously, I couldn't tell if there was any abuse or anything like that, but I will say he dropped out of regular high school at 17 after he graduated from military high school, came back, did 1 year of regular high school, kind of like I did. He drops out and cuts ties with his entire family. No contact ever again.
Really?
Out of the blue, at 17, he joins the Navy. He's stationed in Bremerton Naval Base in Washington, where he meets his wife. And,
Becky?
Yeah, and this is them. This
Look
is
at them.
the same picture you saw earlier.
Look at that mustache. That's definitely a Navy mustache.
I know, man.
I don't know. Like, it kind of comes down. Like, usually a Navy mustache. Like when I think of Maverick.
You just want to bend them over the poop deck. Wait.
No, I don't want to do that. But I mean, to each their own for looking at the Navy. But yeah.
It's called a boat stash.
I'll let you and Nicole handle the bending
That's
over
what that
part.
one is.
He was stationed in New Mexico where he got married. They finally got married. Before the marriage, though, she could see the beginnings of her life because he is very controlling. In fact, this entire...
So he has not gone to Vietnam yet?
Not yet,
right?
no.
Okay. So
this entire story is about control. He needs that control.
So John, is this something like are you saying they're married yet or not?
They just got married, and this is when he was 22 years old.
So I've asked Nicole, like, is that not like a telltale sign when you see a guy, like, you already know if he's controlling or not when you're dating? I mean, that has to be a telltale sign, right?
yes.
Are you more focused on, like...
Is this a trap?
No, I'm just asking, like, is it more about stability? Like, when you look for, like you meet somebody that has a good job, he comes home every day, he may drink in his room every day, but...
She's like, I don't know anyone like that.
Well, I was going to say, that was very opposite of John.
Well, I'm just curious because, like, if she saw the telltale signs...
What'd you see in me?
Well, you were very different than that. You
only
were an
drink on-
entrepreneur and you didn't have a 9 to 5, and I liked that.
Well, because maybe I couldn't get one.
Well, we know this. No,
I was hanging out with a
real estate dude.
Crazy ass.
Sort of a shady guy. A millionaire, but a shady guy.
Well, he was... Anyways, I just had to ask that question because, like, if she really saw this in him after they got married, it was very concerning to me that she didn't pick that up, because most women are able to pick that up. And I don't know if things were different.
But he's also in the military, so...
but most military,
for instance, like, my family, my dad's military, so I couldn't have long hair, or whatever.
Really?
So he's kind of bringing
You could
that.
not rock the mullet that you're rocking right now.
Oh, you can't right now, though.
Yeah, well, stuff like that. But I could see it.
You can see it a little bit.
Yeah, I let her put makeup on today, but
we read the Bible this morning and didn't read a Bible verse about Jezebel, so
There you go.
we'll let you wear makeup today.
So, I think you see signs, and ultimately you
have to,
ignore
right?
it or you don't.
Because I see people like me and John, like, if you're a controlling person, that stuff happens right off the bat. Like, there's little arguments that turn into big situations. And I feel like it's just like, like, you know, and I don't want to break the story, but anyways, it's just like, I just feel like she should have known from the get go, like this guy, like, but then again, like,
maybe
did they
she
have
likes
a kid
that.
early? I mean, did she have a kid early? I mean, I don't remember. Like I know you said Gene Jr. was the oldest son, but I mean, how long is the deficit between the time they got married and Gene?
He was actually discharged from the Navy when they had their first son.
I wonder, like, maybe there were subtle things, but I would imagine that the time overseas when he was in war, like, whatever, I'm sure there were things that were, like, very slight. But I think, like, whatever he experienced over in Vietnam, like, I'm sure that, like, changed everything.
Oh, I'm sure.
If I were to guess.
But before marriage, he was telling her what to wear, what not to wear, not to wear
even
makeup.
before then.
Yeah, before marriage. This is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying,
So
yeah.
she knew.
She knew before getting into it.
But not, yeah.
Well, you don't
And
know.
also,
like,
I
those
think
are
they were not allowed to color their nails at all either. They
You
were,
have to, like, think about, like, those are, you have to think, like, those are so small things. And for her to be like,
But
to
he's
think
military.
it could get
But
to that.
y'all said
to where it
earlier,
did.
and even on the live chat, y'all mentioned her hair. She had gorgeous hair.
Yeah.
That hair was pulled back.
Yeah.
In
Because
a
he made
bow.
her pull it
because he
back.
made her pull it
Yeah.
back. If you want to read that
Oh,
next
interesting.
one.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I know people like that, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's scary though, right?
He stripped
not
her.
if you're the man.
I'm the man.
He stripped her of her carefully crafted appearance and broke down her confidence in herself with a steady grind of corrections and complaints until she was convinced that she could do nothing on her own and had to rely on him for everything.
Yeah.
That's
So there you
interesting.
go. 22 years in the military service, exemplary service. Retired as a master sergeant 1979. He switched from the Navy to the Air Force. He did a brief stint out of the Navy. He realized that, hey, this is me. I need control. I need structure. I know a lot of guys like that. They cannot do shit after the military. That's why you have like when you get out of the military, it's completely different. You have no structure at all. It's like there's no PT in the morning. There's no saluting a flag in the morning. Like, what am I supposed to do all day?
Well, let me ask you this. So the guy that I was telling you from Nantucket, like he started in the Navy and he went to the Marines. Like, that's not common, is it? Like you don't.
Yeah,
just,
it's pretty common. Those are
Is it? It is.
yeah.
Navy and Marines are like
Like that's where he
those are
started,
some-
and he ended up in the Marines, and like he ended up as a cop. But I mean, I'm just curious to know,
Yeah,
like, is
Navy-
that common?
Yeah, Navy and Marines is pretty common. Yeah, Army, Air Force. I mean, it's not as common.
Well,
but
Air Force is hard to get into.
know,
That's hard
But
to
if
get
you go to
into,
the
right?
Naval Academy, you can either go into the Navy or the Marines.
22 years in the military, retired as a master sergeant, which is very high in the
Nice.
enlisted ranks in 1979. So when you retire as in active duty as a master sergeant, you get a pretty nice pension.
Nice.
However, you'll see when he flees from his current town, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second, he kind of cuts ties with everyone and he no longer receives his pension. That's why we go back to the beginning of the story where he has no money. He's not getting government assistance anymore. So he must have done something so egregious that he lost his pension. Bronze Star, Republic of Vietnam Cross, Air Force ribbon, and numerous awards for marksmanship. When the bodies were found, even though they were at close range, they were center mass, right
He
in the
knew what he
forehead.
was doing.
Oh yeah. So when you shoot someone, you'd always want to shoot for center of mass, which is my silhouette. You want to shoot
Yeah.
in the center because it's got them.
So to
Especially,
John,
Yeah.
especially you know. 'cause-
yeah. So to John's point, like when you shoot a 9mm, even though you're only like maybe 8 feet apart, you are never really aiming for where you're aiming for, and it's kind of hard. So you aim for center mass, like what he's talking about.
Yeah, so and all of those were straight on. He's got plenty of awards for marksmanship. In the marriage, Ronald made Becky sever all ties with her family. That's probably why.
Oh, that's why. Okay,
probably
that makes
why you
sense,
can't find
yeah.
any. This is probably why you can't find any information on the family.
But how would you feel about that if John told you like,
Well, she doesn't talk to her family.
oh,
I mean,
is she from Arkansas?
no, but she's a Perry now. When we got married, I was like, in my family, you don't only have to change your last name, but you got to change your middle name too. And she almost did. She almost
No, I
changed.
did not. I thought you were fucking crazy, though.
Hey, funny story. I married my Spanish wife,
Yeah.
and she didn't want to change her last name for a while, and
Ah.
until she got pulled over. and she didn't change her name. She just added my name. So her name is like Elena Justine Chavez Gomez Cooley. It's like, it's not even. She didn't even change it. She got pulled over and like, how long have you been living here? And they're like, she's like 3 months. They're like, yeah, you got to change your name. This is not even your correct license. And they're like,
my family would disown her if she didn't change her name. The wife wasn't allowed to get any mail. He would screen all the mail and he'd decide if he wanted to give it
so
to
he
her.
was the only one to check the mail?
Yeah. She wasn't allowed to do anything.
Even though she was at home all day, right?
Yeah, even though she was at home. She couldn't do anything by herself.
Wow, I didn't know that.
1 year after marriage, Gene was born, the one that was hit with a crowbar.
Okay.
And according to Ryan Green's book, which we're reading tonight, quote, and talking about Gene, quote, that worthless son of a bitch. That boy was the worst thing that ever slithered out of his worthless mother. The biggest mistake I have ever made in my entire life. His second child was born finally. This is his first daughter. This is Sheila.
Oh, that's her.
Oh,
That's baby.
she's sweet.
What's her shirt say?
Something Bears.
It says
Bears?
Cleveland. Wait,
No, does it say
Cleveland Bears or
It might say
Cleveland
Cleveland Bears.
Well, I only think.
It says Cloudcroft. That's where they were living at the time. Cloudcroft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cloudcroft, yeah.
Wait, does she have like a sweater vest on kind of thing? Like she has a whole like.
I don't know. Can you describe her, Nicole? Like kind of.
Long brown hair. She's got glasses, big smile. And she's wearing a long sleeve. What would you say?
Cloudcroft. That's where they were
Cloudcroft
living at the
Bears.
time.
So was that her high school?
Yeah, that was her
she
high
looks
school.
like
Yeah.
maybe she's like 15-ish.
All right, so
I would go maybe 16.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like
that's Sheila. That is the apple of his eye.
his other children were objects to be manipulated, pieces of the puzzle of chaotic life that he had to slot together in such a way as to give the appearance of order. But in Sheila, he seemed to believe that he had found some sort of kindred spirit.
By the time that she turned 13, they were really close. This is the only child that he has ever felt so close to. By the time she's 15, she would jump on daddy's lap like she was still a toddler, and she would give him a kiss on the lips. So things were getting a little crazy, a little weird. None of the family members cared because they're all, and this is when she was 15.
It's no more
so,
routine, right?
Yeah, it's normal for this family at this
Okay.
point. He would drive his wife Becky to the grocery store, and that was like the one thing that the wife had. That the one time where he was nice to her, he would never go in, but he would always drive her there, and at least he wouldn't abuse her in the car. But she started not only going with daddy too, but also sitting up front. So when Mama Bear comes out of the home, she sees her daughter, 15-year-old daughter, sitting up front, laughing with daddy. And then daddy gives her Mama a kind of a nod of get in the back type of shit. So if you want to read
So Mama Rise in the back.
That's kind of odd. Her cheeks burned with shame as they pulled out of the driveway, relegated to the back seat like she was the child and Sheila was the wife. She looked at Sheila, still giggling and happy, unaware that she was pushing her mother out with every kind word and smile, never even realizing that the knife she was twisting in her mother's back with every kindness that Ronald bestowed on her, his perfect little girl.
This is her right here. This is the only other photo of her. This is probably when she was, 13 or something?
Yeah, it looks about right.
Yeah. So let's just say he was getting a little close, and that bond was pretty tight. Mother was jealous of her own daughter. This reminds me of the case we did with she was a what was her name? Stepdaughter. No, she was adopted daughter. Sabrina.
Oh,
The teenage
oh
witch?
God, that was awful.
But now, and not only are the neighbors seeing this, and this is in Cloudcroft, but
Yep.
at the grocery store, think about the father sitting there with the teenage daughter.
Yeah.
She jumps on his lap while Mama's in the grocery store. She's giving them kisses on the lips,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It embarrassed the mother quite a bit. The mother would see the daughter give him a kiss, his own biological daughter, a kiss on the lips all day. And at 17, Sheila became pregnant. And
Who's the baby daddy?
Is the baby daddy her daddy?
the baby is Ronald's granddaughter and daughter.
Oh my God, I need more alcohol. No.
This is an incestuous relationship.
A big long
Well,
tree.
I wouldn't say it's like, yes, it's incestuous,
Did
but
you
it's
see it going this way though? Like how he painted the story?
no.
Well, how about this? We started this story. The mother's still there. She wants the whole family to get together. So obviously, the whole family has to be okay, or at least live with the fact that this child is in the world now, and the father is
Baby daddy.
making it so everyone better be okay with this. This is how it is. This is part of the family now. This is my granddaughter.
This is so uncomfortable.
Well, read the next one, and it might not.
Oh, great.
It may relieve some comfort.
Fabulous.
I doubt it.
Impregnating Sheila was the only logical conclusion to his domination. He not only owned every part of her, but had transformed her from a young girl into a vessel for him. She was no longer allowed to exist as a person. She was a repository for his dark passions.
Ronald expected that the incest, not only having sex with his daughter, but also raising the child, would be accepted by the family. Not accepted, but it's this is how it is.
Like, hey, this is your
This is your
sister.
life now.
Yeah, like this is it.
And the mother, you better be okay with it. This is my child. You better help raise it. Becky.
Yes.
So you can see
Where the story's
and
going.
this is before she had those multiple attempts of leaving. So
Oh, God.
this relationship with Sheila, and the thing about the story is control. That is what he needed.
So
He
what do you
needs
think
to
about
be
that, John? Like
control.
Like, why do you think control is a big part of his life? Because I see that too. Like he wanted to control. Like he wanted to
I mean, I can kind of see. All right, so I won't get on an airplane because I don't have any control unless I have a parachute.
Okay.
Right? So I can kind of see that, but he's just more extreme. Like for Sheila, getting his own daughter pregnant. Have you seen that movie Wolf on Wall Street?
Of course.
Where he's like, wait, I've heard this weird thing. You're like, I don't know, married to your cousin, and then what's his name? Jonah Hill's like, nah. I mean, of course, man. I mean, she's hot. I don't want some other dude banging my cousin. I mean, fuck. Of course
It's like that. What's the one from Dave Chappelle when he's like, if anyone's going to bang my sister, it's going to be me.
Yeah, he's gonna anybody gonna bang my sister? Yeah.
I'm glad you don't have a sister.
Now we just got a cousin down
We
here.
just got stepsisters because
The thing with Sheila is it was a control thing. In this house, the Simmons house, he's the king of the castle. And what does the king get? The king gets the women. He's already got Mama Bear woman, and he's got sons too. So the sons are looking up, they're like little puppies or little lions trying to, climb up the ladder. Now he's getting the other female, the 17-year-old pregnant. So
Sheila.
so he's like, now I got this. This is further making me the king of the castle.
That's right.
Kind of thing. So it is all about control.
I think it is too.
And they're living with this. And the sons that he will eventually have, because he has 5 children in total, and then they have children of their own. But they have to live with this. The young sons.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this was all about control. This is the child that they had together. This is.
I never saw that.
Yeah, this is her photo right here.
She looks tired.
This is. I mean, maybe it's because it's incest relationship. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. But yeah, it's
There's something.
yeah, she's tired.
Yeah, but her
Well,
name.
I think later on the story we'll learn more. So
Her name is Sylvia. That is their daughter together. So it is his daughter / granddaughter, Sylvia. Sophia to him was
the woman he always wanted, right?
the woman that fucked up everything for him. The woman that he loved so much, and this is his daughter, that he loved so much he would do anything for, and then
Sheila.
she goes and she fucks up everything. Let's finish this episode up because it's fucking long. Let's go back. Let's go back to the house. Back to the house. He just kills JR with the crowbar, shoots him twice in the head, once in the chest, kills the mother with the crowbar, slashing her, bringing it down as hard as he can. Ronald sits down. He just killed his son and his wife. He grabs a beer, lights a cigarette, and oh my God, that baby, that fucking baby.
What's she doing?
She's screaming, 3 years old. Like, why won't she shut up? Ronald gets up out of his chair. He leaves the crowbar behind. He doesn't need it. He walks into little Barbara's room, 3 years old. He looks up. She's got these big tearful eyes as if she knows that her daddy is laying dead there on the floor. She's crying, but she doesn't know why at only 3 years old. He picks her up and pulls her close to his chest. And this is the first time. This is unusual. This is unusual because Granddaddy has never shown her, the 3-year-old Barbara, any affection.
Yeah.
Ever.
Not surprised.
She stops crying. She feels safe against her granddaddy's chest. She stops crying. She feels comforted. Her arms drape around his shoulders, kind of like, a child would do.
Grandpa got me.
The hands, the grandpa's hands, slip up the back of her back up to her neck, then around it, and then he starts to squeeze. And if you want to read the next one.
Oh, I don't want to read the next one.
Nicole.
I don't want to read it. He could still feel the warm meat of her throat caught between his warm hands and the desperate fluttering of her heartbeat where his fingertips bit into her flesh. He could hear her bones grinding in his grip.
It wasn't strangulation.
It
sounds like he was like...
It was more like crushing a baby bird.
Oh,
to
okay.
death.
So you're just, because she's so small, right?
Strangulation would be thinking about choking. It was more just like crushing, just holding like a teddy bear. You know how you do if you're a child and you're just like,
Wow.
Eh! It's
I
like
didn't know
crushing
that.
a baby bird is what he did to the 3-year-old. Crushed her. And
As you can see, he's on a rampage.
He is on a rampage, for sure.
the smell in the room really pissed him off because she peed herself. And he didn't like that. She was peeing while she was being crushed. He goes outside. We kind of skip, but we'll talk about the home. And this is the home right here as far as where she ends up. What you're looking at now is a cesspit. They didn't have toilets in their home at all.
Really?
There were no toilets in the home. There were no running water. This is how
Wow.
bad it was.
What's Arkansas?
And they would dig cesspits. Once the cesspits got too bad smelling, they would fill them up, dig another one. So they were going to the bathroom in this pit, which you're
Like
looking
in
at.
like a
Wow.
digged hole.
Yeah, a digged hole. And he would cover it with a tarp.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, to, initially. So you would go, if you got to piss, you would go lift the tarp and then pee in this hole. There was no toilets. There's no
Or
running
pee
water.
around the corner. Everybody always established a pee corner.
Jesus Christ, you fucking hick. Bro.
I'm sorry. That's not funny. I'm sorry, everybody.
Why? That's my family. He goes out to the cesspit. He peeled back the tarp. He tosses his son, 29-year-old Gene Jr., tosses him in there, throws Becky in there too. Now, this is in the shit and the piss.
Oh, Lord. I didn't know that.
And he thought, he was like, I got to carry Barbara out, this 3-year-old. She's fucking dead, thank God. But she's pissed all over her fucking self. I don't want to carry her if she's got piss on her.
Yeah, like, fuck this.
He goes into the kitchen. He gets a black trash bag. He picks her up very slightly to try not to get the piss on him, puts the little body in the trash bag, threw it inside and throws it into the cesspit. Then he pours kerosene over the bodies, but not to light. This confused me at first.
Oh, okay.
He pours kerosene over all the bodies to mask the smell.
Yeah.
He then puts barbed wire over the cesspit. So the family dog, whose name was Bo, they had two, Bo and Duke, they wouldn't get into the bodies.
Yeah. Because he
Also,
wanted, like, why would you want to do that? Like, he wanted to, he wants them to, like, mortify.
he goes back into the house. He opens the fridge and he grabs the last beer. He's going to get more. He grabs the last beer, cracks it open, turns on the TV, and then he waits for his kids to get off the school bus.
Oh my God.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to talk about next time. However, how many people has he killed? Do you know?
Well, I want to say 16.
16.
He's killed 16 people.
Yeah, I was right on. Yeah.
His entire family?
How many?
Oh, yeah, his entire family's gone.
How many? Well, we're going to get that to the next episode, but how many names are up here? One,
But just so everybody...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
At rest elsewhere.
14. There's 2 more victims, 2 that are not on here.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, there's a lot to this story.
Yeah,
This
thanks
is
a lot.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
for
very
your request,
fascinating.
Alan.
I requested this, and I'm glad John picked me up to come on and do this. I think this is amazing, and I think everybody's going to be very excited to hear how the story ends. Which it actually ends in a weird way. I'm not going to spoil it for you, and I ask you not to look it up because the way John tells the story is actually a lot better than the way I read it.
than the way it really happened.
Yeah. John actually
He's
tells
a
the story very
master
well.
storyteller.
Like as I'm sitting here, like against the mic, like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, is he going to talk about this? And he does. So it's like, I challenge everybody. Do not go look the story up, even though nobody's ever heard of it.
Just let him tell it.
For John to bring this back up, and I promise you will not be disappointed.
I'm sitting here thinking, fuck, I gotta pee really bad.
Dude, I gotta pee extremely bad.
Anyway,
I gotta pee like a racehorse.
There you go. Me too.
All right, we're gonna do the next episode. Not today, but
Wanna do it tomorrow?
nah, not tomorrow. It's gonna take me a little bit to prepare it, but I am gonna do a Supremo story hopefully tomorrow because we want to keep going with this new equipment we got here. But anyway, so and we did do a Supremo story yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you're Supremo or a taco nacho, you can go back and listen to it.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to end it up here. Thanks so much, Alan, for being on here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so much for having me on. Thank you, everybody.
Any last words?
Yeah. So if anybody requests me to be back on for an episode, please let me know. Let me know. Let John or Nicole know. But I'll be happy to always come by, whatever it may be. But if everybody enjoys my comments and enjoys, I know it's a little lengthy, but I enjoy being here. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining. Great request.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
joining.
you.
And again, this Talk More to Me podcast, I'm sitting here with Alan. Jen is off for another 2 weeks, and I'm sitting here with Nicole. We put episodes out every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We live stream every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's public. And then usually we'll do another episode for our supporters or Supremos, and you can go and join and support us by going to talkmore.com/join. And that helps us out a ton. So if y'all don't have anything else, I think that's all I got. So until next time,
Thank you, guys.
Good night, you lovely, lovely people.